From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning for June 25th, 2022, live on air Mornings LALATE with big economic news about where this economy is, where it's going, and where your money is. And in this recording, we're going to get that fourth stimulus check that is in every U.S. state. It went live in the month of March, and we're going to prepare for this economy. We're going to do something due today or Saturday, June 25th. We're going to go over the phases of this economy and the subject matters you need to know on a daily basis of what's happening with your money. We're going to learn about how you have to know up to date every day what's going on with inflation, recession, labor market data, and how you prepare your family based upon your knowledge. We're also going to learn about how to prepare with understanding the housing market, retail sales, and stocks on a daily basis. Meantime, as promised, today will be a surprise, because if you're a member of this channel, you're not only going to get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday that has that fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state, but today, for a special edition of January 25th, 2022, you're going to get the membership newsletter tonight. And it's going to have brand new features never seen before. So if you're not a member, you become a member today. Get that brand new newsletter with a new add-on tonight. We'll explain what it is later in this recording. It includes those four stimulus checks in every U.S. state, upwards of 80,000. There's a lot of major developing details happening this new week, and we're going to prepare for them. We're also going to prepare for that financial cliff, as described by Jay Powell, and understand why a financial cliff is not a downward spiral in this economy. It's an abrupt surprise. That's why it's called a financial cliff. And to today's recording this morning, we're going to go over whether that financial cliff will come in January or whether it's coming in less than 90 days. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, we got a lot of money on that fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. You go into this video right now and subscribe. You become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, and you stay over this 1 hour broadcast because we have a lot of money, a lot of financial news, and a lot of breaking developing details for a big morning. It's Mornings LA. It's live on air. It's June 25th, and the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and the coffee is brewing, starting right now. And good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day. It's June 25th, 2022. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, we got a lot to go over, and we got a lot of fourth stimulus checks to cut in later in this recording. They're huge, upwards of $100,000 of fourth stimulus checks for you in every U.S. state. 3 things to do right now to start this broadcast this morning: subscribe, become a member, and stay for the second half, because we're going to go over all that incredible details. Plus, later in this video, you can hear the breaking news as new features are added to the newsletter for members starting tonight. Boy, what a day to become a member. You better become one today. Let's go over brand new details starting today for June 25th, 2022. Today, we're going to go over what's important for you to learn for your family, for yourself, and for your community every day, as this economy gets very bad very quickly. We're going to identify the items, and we're going to go over each of them starting right now. On a daily basis, you need to know where inflation is, where the recession is, and where the labor market is going. You also have to know the latest details on the housing industry, retail sales, and also the stock market. Let's go over the details of each of them right now. What's important for you to know is where inflation is on a daily basis, and how do you learn that, and how do you get the updates on it. Inflation is the price of goods you're paying for at the supermarket, and it's also comprised based upon the price of gasoline. For a core number that's released for us to analyze, we only generally have monthly data. And that monthly data, the most predominant used data source, is the Consumer Price Index number, the CPI. The last number we had was for the month of May, released in the month of June. What was it? It was 8.5%. It was a beat, higher than expected, 8.3%. You want the number not to be a beat because this is what you want for inflation. You want inflation to have peaked, to not be going any higher than it is, and to slowly be coming down. You don't want the number to continue to beat. So when is the next number we're going to see? The next number of the CPI would be for the month of June, released in the month of July. But here's how you and I can find inflation and understand it before we have data released. If you go to the supermarket and you buy goods, let's say you buy milk from the same market every week and the same brand, look at the price. Is the price stabilized, or is it still going up this month of June? Has it gone up this week or last week, or is it basically the way it was this entire month? If it's the same number, it means that it's stabilized. If it's going higher, it means it's not stabilized, it's going higher. Price of gasoline, same situation. If you're at the pump and the gasoline is higher this week than it was last week, it means it's not stabilized, it's going higher. Why is it important to understand if inflation is stabilized or not? If inflation's going higher, then we have a big problem, because this is phase one of this economy. Phase one is between now and September. And as inflation goes higher, then what happens is the Federal Reserve comes in more aggressively. The second number I need you to know is, or the second item you need to know on a daily basis for you and your family, is whether we are in recession, whether we're close to recession, or how far we are from recession. At the time of this broadcast, I'm still saying that phase 3 of this economy is recession. Starts in January 2023 and goes for 2 years. Americans believe that this is recession. It's not. And what's important for you to know is how far away we are from the recession. The recession is going to be far different than what's going on right now. What's going on right now is basically a shrinking economy, a slowing economy, and it's different than a recession. And what's important for you to know is how far that recession is, because when that recession hits, it's going to shock Americans. Now, this last week, Jay Powell testified on Capitol Hill, and he spoke about a financial cliff. A financial cliff is different than a recession. A financial cliff is basically you're walking along, you're in your stride, you're having a beautiful day, and then suddenly you fall off a cliff. You didn't expect there was something that you're going to fall off of in the next moment. When is that financial cliff? We'll go over that in a second, but that's not the recession. It's before the recession. And that financial cliff, in my analysis, but I'll give you the data for you to make your determination, is 90 days from now. Yeah, it's that quickly. The next 3 numbers I need you to know on a daily basis is generally what's going on with the housing. The next number I need you to know on a daily basis is the labor. Labor is one of the most important things for you to know after inflation and recession. What is labor? How many people are unemployed in America? You need to know this because this impacts your money. And where is that labor number release? It's every Thursday morning, live on air on Mornings LA on this channel, which you're watching right now. And that labor number is released by the Department of Labor with 2 components every week, every Thursday. The number of new jobless claims, which are the number of people who newly went on unemployment, and the number of continuing unemployment claims. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Let me give you the background on where the number should be. For new jobless claims numbers, it should be around 180. It's not. When we started the pandemic of March of 2020 and this channel launched that week, we were at about 200,000 new jobless claims. It shot up to 1 million. It stayed at 1 million. Then coming out of the pandemic, it dropped to 180. That's where it should be, but it's not. 2 weeks ago, I said it's going to be 230. It came in at 229. Last week, I said it was going to be 230,000 again. It came in at 227. I hit it on the money 2 times in a row. This is troubling. Now, ultimately, let me make something clear. I look at the number, 230,000 new jobless claims. These are people who newly went on unemployment this week. That's a bad number. But Liz Warren, Janet Yellen, Jay Powell, look at the same number and say it's a good number. It's not a good number. Do you think it's a good number? Jump in the live chat. Yes or no, it's a good number. Now, here's what you need to know is that you can determine unemployment before I determine unemployment. And how do you see it? In the big box retailer. More or less, jump in the live chat and write more or less. Have you gone into the big box retailer and seen less employees than the month before? If you have, then that is a signal that unemployment is getting worse before the data comes in from Wall Street. Remember, first the person has to be laid off. Then they have to asks for unemployment, and then that unemployment has to report the number back to Department of Labor. There's a delay in there, but you'll see it before that. That's why your eyes and ears that I train you to look for the stuff before it's reported is how you're going to be ahead of the ball game on your money for this economy. Now, let's look at the situation for labor and let's understand how dramatically it's going to change. Millions of Americans are going to go through a series of phases for labor. This is the phases they're going to see. It's different than the phases we just went over. I'm going to call them stages to make it different. Stages. Stage one is you're going to see less employees. Stage two is the corporation is going to announce layoffs. Are we in that stage? We've already entered that stages. With Tesla announcing 10% of its labor workforce gone, 18% of Coinbase gone. And we continue to have layoffs of Netflix yesterday, 300 gone. The next phase is hiring freeze. Hiring freeze is when they say, do not apply. We're not hiring anyone for an entire year. That stage has already started. Tesla and Netflix and also Coinbase and Snap announcing hiring freezes. The phase after that or stage after that for the employment is closures. Closures where they announce stores are being closed left and right. Those closures were sort of mirrored in data that came in yesterday. And what was that data that came in yesterday? Travel and leisure. Airlines announced destinations closed permanently. Those destinations include Toledo, Ohio by American Airlines and 4 other destinations. That include United Airlines ending nearly over a dozen trips a day to Newark, New Jersey, one of its big hubs. Those closures will result in major layoffs or transferring of employees at those locations. That is what you need to know on a daily basis. There you go. Those 4 data points. First, 3 data points. First, inflation, then recession, and then also labor. You want to see that inflation is stabilized and is not going higher. You want to know how far out that recession is, and you want to know whether the labor market is getting worse that week. Now, this is what's going to happen. As unemployed people get unemployed, they will not have unemployment benefits. There is no unemployment benefits anymore in the United States like we had for the pandemic. If you're 1099, there's nothing for you. That additional weeks of that additional add-on of benefits every week of $600 or $300 gone. And if you are an employee, a W-2, there's no extra weeks of benefits beyond your normal benefits. PEUC is gone as well. If you're small business owners, there's no assistance for you at all. SBA, EIDL grant gone, EIDL loan gone, PPP all gone. Now, 3 other data points I need you to know on a daily basis, because this is how you prepare your family. You prepare your family by understanding where this economy is, where it's going, and where that stimulus is and how much money you can get on a daily basis. We go over that in every recording. We're going over that right now. The 3 other data points I want to go over are housing, retail sales, and also the stock market. First, housing. I need you to understand where the housing market is on a regular basis, because one of the most important parts of the economy, if the housing market is falling apart, the economy will be falling apart. Where's the housing market today? And when do we get data on the housing market? In the case of the housing market, we get data almost daily on this channel. So that's why you have to tune in daily on this front. Housing is down 17% year to date. Mortgage applications are at the lowest level of 20 years. The demand is not there, and the buyers are not there. What can I bring on camera that I heard personally in the last 24 hours here in Southern California? I saw a series of new reports by local real estate brokers who says the number of homes that went on the market down last month, the number of homes sold last month down, the number of homes in the escrows down. The takeaway, less activity. Let's go over to the next front, retail sales. Retail sales. You can see this with your eyes and ears before I report it. If you're in the big box retailer, do you see less consumers in the stores? You do. So that is less retail sales. Retail sales are determined by more than just corporate earnings. Corporate earnings will not be released for a few more weeks, so we have a gap there. We have the corporate earnings for Q1 of 2022 released a few weeks ago from Walmart and Target and other companies, dramatically down. Higher scale retailers up, and then low end retailers like Dollar Tree and Dollar General way up. They had a lot of demand. But here's what you need to know on the retail sectors. The consumer confidence numbers, we have a lot of them on this channel. We had one yesterday, Friday, and we had one in the middle of the week. The worst consumer confidence of 20 years. Consumers are uncomfortable about their savings. They're uncomfortable about how much money they have in case of emergency situation. They're uncomfortable about the economy. And they're uncomfortable about their job security. If you lose consumer confidence, you lose the consumer. And if you lose the consumer, you lose the economy. That's how it works. What's important to understand is that retail sales, we won't have the data from the corporations for a few more weeks. That's why your eyes and ears in the stores are so important. Make sure you continue to focus on what you see in the stores before I report it on camera, because this is what's important. You see the data before I report it. Next, what's important to understand is the stock market. I don't need you to know how to trade stocks. I don't need you to know about a particular stock. I just need you to understand what the whole market as a whole is doing. And what's it doing? You need to know if the stock market was down 1,000 points yesterday or whether it was up 500 points. Friday was up. This week was generally up. But here's what you need to know. We're in a bear market. A bear market is where stocks are down. It means if you have a stock, it's not going to value, it's not going to appreciate. You're not going to have an evaluation of your stock going higher. It's going to go lower. How low? In a bear market, stocks generally go down 26%. We're already there. So are we going lower? Yes, because in a bear market plus a recession, you go down 46%. How low will we go and how long will it take? We're going to go down about 46 to 48%, and it's going to take 2 years. 2 years. That's that phase 3 we started early in this recording about. This is why you need to watch this channel on a daily basis, because you need to know how far we are on these stages and whether these stages are coming sooner rather than later. Phase 3 is the recession starting in January 2023, and it'll continue for 2 years. And what's important for you to know is that stocks will devalue throughout the rest of this year, phase 2, and will continue to devalue in phase 3 next year. And as things continue to devalue, people will be getting false information. Let's go over that false information starting right now. Whether it is a real estate broker, whether it is a home seller, whether it is a stockbroker, they're going to give you false information because their interests sometimes they put before you. I don't. Here's what you need to know. Stockbrokers or financial analysts who want you to buy and sell stocks, they make no money if you don't buy or sell. In a market in which stocks are going down, you shouldn't be selling and you shouldn't be buying. And that's why they're unhappy. They're not making money if you're not buying, and they're not making money if you're not selling. So they want to encourage you to buy, and how do they do it? By giving you a false narrative. The fake narrative is we're at a bottom. We're not at a bottom. Come and buy. Do not buy. Or that there's a rally. Buy here. Buy right now. Do not buy. They want you to buy because otherwise they don't make money. And they understand that no one's selling things at a loss. They're holding them on to them. Let's go over to real estate brokers and home builders. They want you to buy. Home builders and home sellers here in Los Angeles are sending out more notices than ever before to get your home, to list your home, to buy your home. Why? There's no liquidity. As I told you earlier in this recording, less homes are going to the market, less homes are selling, and less homes are available to buy. That means that real estate brokers are making less money. They're struggling. They want you to buy or to sell. Otherwise, they don't make money. They're putting their interests before you. Don't fall for the trick. That's what happens as economies shrink dramatically. Now, here's what you need to know is you need to get every pot of money that's available right today. And that is stimulus checks. In the second half of this video, we're going to go over those 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Over $100,000 a person. Stimulus checks found for me, for you, because my focus for you is to get you prepared, both with information and your wallet. And how do you get your body prepared? How do you get your wallet prepared? By getting as much stimulus as you can before the financial cliff of September. And then reducing the amount of debt you have in the household, making sure you're keeping your costs under control. And then if you have any adjustable rate debt, you're getting removal of it as quickly as possible, like credit card debt, like car loans, like adjustable rate mortgages. Switch to fix, because the financial cliff is coming. What is a financial cliff, and what was those statements from Jay Powell this last week? In the second half of this video, we're going to go over those incredible 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Have you become a member? You do it right now. You go right in this video and become a member and get ready for the second half as we get those four stimulus checks. Now that you understand what to know on a daily basis for inflation, recession, and labor, the housing market, retail sales, and stocks, you need to beef up your bank account right today because a financial cliff is coming. How do you beef it up? By becoming a member and staying for the second half and getting these big stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Let's go over this financial cliff and why this is so scary. This week on Capitol Hill, the banking committee of the Senate, chaired by Liz Warren, had Jay Powell testify. And Liz Warren asked Jay Powell, do you have a dual mandate? I do, Jay Powell responded. And is that dual mandate price stability and maximum employment? He said it is. Price stability is keeping prices intact, stabilized. That's inflation. And maximum employment means keeping most people employed. The reverse is avoiding unemployment. He said yes. She said, Liz Warren, in trying to achieve price stability and get inflation under control, could you be sending people to unemployment? Could you be sending this economy into recession? Could you actually be hurting this economy? And could you be sending this economy over a financial cliff? Jay Powell said, based upon the world events, it's getting harder to get this done. And we may not get it done right. It is possible we could be going over a financial cliff. Now, let's make this very clear. You're listening to Jay Powell. You're not listening to me. You're listening to the head of the Federal Reserve. When asked whether a financial cliff is possible, he said it is possible. What is a financial cliff? A financial cliff is just like what you think about, Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner. There's no pre-warning. You're walking along, you're having a beautiful day, and poof, you fall off a cliff. It's that abruptness. And you're not going to suffer a financial cliff because I have the guidance for you. You're watching this channel on a regular basis. Americans who do not learn to earn are going to fall off the financial cliff and will not know what's happening. And what's going to happen with a financial cliff? Let's go over the analysis right now. It's very scary, but I have to tell you what a financial cliff is going to be. Someone will have a job, think they have job stability, think that their livelihood is all perfectly lined up, and wake up one morning, they're laid off. They're laid off, then what's going to happen? They can't find a job. They learn that there's no FPUC at $600 a week. They learn that there's no PUA if they are a 1099, if they're a W-2, there's no extra weeks of benefits of PUC. And then worse things happen. They suddenly learn they're going to have problems making rent, and there's no eviction moratorium. The landlord would love to kick them out and get a higher rent. They get kicked out. They get evicted. Let's say they're a homeowner. They think there's a mortgage forbearance on the books like there was during the pandemic. There's not. And the bank would love to have their home. We already went over how there's less liquidity of homes. The bank would love to take their home in foreclosure. They lose their home. Let's talk about the utility bills. Let's say it's early fall. You have the heat on and the heating oil on. You get laid off and suddenly you get a bill in the mail. You look at that bill. It's 300 to 400% higher because of gasoline. You can't pay the bill. And you presume they're not going to turn off the bill because they never did before, the utility. They will. There's no deal in tack between the federal government and local municipalities anymore to ensure that utilities stay on. They'll turn off the bill. Scary? It is scary. And that is a financial cliff. That's why you watch this channel on a daily basis, because you need to know where inflation is, where recession is, where labor is, and also understand what's going on with housing, retail sales, and stocks, because guess what? You ain't going to fall off a financial cliff. You're not going to allow that to happen for you or your family. You're going to learn to earn. Now, when is the financial cliff? This is a little bit hard for me to predict for you, but I believe the financial cliff is phase 2. I do not believe the financial cliff is the recession. I think that the downward spiral of this economy will fall off a cliff before the recession hits. I think the recession, because it's 2 years from January 2023 to 2024, is a downward digression of the economy, a downward contraction of the U.S. economy. And that is very slow happening. People are going to see that happening. The financial cliff is going to be very abrupt, and I believe that is September. 90 days away? Yes. Scared? You should be. Getting every stimulus check that's available today? You better. And we're going to go over those 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state in the second half. That's why you become a member. You go right in this video right now and you do 3 things. Subscribe. Number 2, look to where it says join the channel. Click the link and become a member today. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. And get the membership newsletter. Normally, Monday through Friday only, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system. But because this is Saturday, June 25th only, there's going to be a special edition of the newsletter only this Saturday, in addition to the Monday through Friday. And guess what? It's going to have new members benefits with the rollout of the brand new members worksheet. What is the worksheet? It concerns your stimulus, and it's coming up in the second half of this video. Finally, stay to the second half of this video because we have a lot to go over. Plus, we're going to go over what's going on with gasoline. You need to understand what's going on with gasoline on a daily basis because this is what's going to throw this economy into recession. That recession coming in January. It's a big morning for January 25th, 2022. Become a member during the commercial break. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. As America's most watched show for financial news on the mornings continues. But first, here's a little bit about the members community page. I'll see you back in 60 seconds as Mornings LA Live continues.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues on a beautiful new Saturday morning for June 25th, 2022. How are you doing? Hope you're having a beautiful day. And I know it's been warm in some parts of the country, so hopefully it settles down for you. It's also going to be warm as the heat is on as we go into a recession. That's phase 3 of this economy. But phase 2 is just 90 days away. It's September. And this is going to mirror the first days of the lockdown. It's going to be that bad. This is the downward spiral of this economy. And the way you prepare for phase 2 is you get that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Did you become a member during the commercial break? I hope you did. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP by joining this channel and getting the membership newsletter normally Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system. But if you're watching this channel today, Saturday, you become a member right today because there's a special edition of the newsletter coming out later. And I'll go over that newsletter, that new edition in just a second. But first, let's get some checks. Back in the month of March, viewers said to me, LA, can you find me some forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state? And I did. And these stimulus checks came from executive order from the president and also from your states. Over $100,000 a person. Wow. I have a quadruple mandate for myself on this channel. And the first one is, number 1, to make sure that I get as many checks as I can for you in every recording. Number 2, that the checks have broad eligibility. As longtime viewer Kat says, you're very focused on eligibility. I am. I want as many viewers as qualified to get these checks as possible. So, single individual, $75,000 or less, go get them. Married couple, $150,000 or less annual income, go get them. If you are renters or owners of homes, go get them. If you have children or don't have children, go get them. And if you're on benefits like SSI or SSDI, Veterans Benefits, RB, go get them. They're coming up in a second. Number 3, my third mandate was to ensure that the checks are big amounts of money. You need a lot of money. We're going into phase 2. It's 90 days from then. Then we have 2 years of recession. Puny little checks don't do it. I need to get you big checks. And number 4, I need to ensure that the viewership of this channel understands to get checks and continue to get checks every day of this week, every month, and we're going to go over that in a second. But first, let's go over the checks. I gave them a lettering system, and they start with check A, and they are huge. The very first check is a $6,500 to $12,000 forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Let's get that incredible check A starting right now. It's a $6,500 to $12,000 forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 or less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, go get it. If you are on benefits, go get it. How do you get this incredible check? Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, become a member. Go right down on the membership newsletter, delivered Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and a special edition today of June 25th, and go right down to where it has check A. Find check A and click the link and send you into the nationwide website. Then choose your state, then choose the homeowner's weatherizing grant check and pounce and get it. You're not going to stop there yet. No, you're also going to go get check B. Check B is a wonderful forced stimulus check in every U.S. state, and boy, is it great. $15,000 to $80,000 forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Look at that money. The average viewer of this channel is getting $66,000 to $80,000. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. And if you're on benefits, go get it. How do you get check B? Step 1, subscribe. Step 2, go right under the video where it says join the channel, or at the top of the chat where it says become a member. See all the people in the live chat that have an emoji behind their name? They're members. An emoji of a hawk, they're members. And then click the link, goes right into check B. The nationwide website, then choose your state, then apply. Routing times are 1 week, but you're not going to stop there yet. You're going to go get check C. Check C is very important. It is a $2,000 monthly stimulus check by direct deposit on average, but many viewers have gotten a lot more money than this. We've been getting this money since day one of this channel that launched on April 25th, 2020. This channel has gotten viewers over $50 million. Why is check C likely to be one of the most important checks of this channel in the next few months? Why? We got a hint of it early in this video. Check C is rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and similar. And guess what's going to happen in the next few months? People are going to be worried they're going to lose their home, and there is no mortgage forbearance. They're going to need check C. They're going to be worried that they're going to be evicted because they can't make rent, and there is no rent eviction moratorium. They need check C. And then when they open that utility bill in the winter months or late fall for gas or heating oil, it's going to be 300 to 400% higher the bill. They're going to be shocked. They won't be able to pay it. They're worried it's going to be turned off. They're going to need check C. This is the check that viewers have been getting since December 2020 on this channel. It was originally called Purple, then it became Third Stimulus. Now it's called check C. We've had big success stories on it, and we have more success on it in just a second. Let's go over the success stories that viewers have gotten. Viewers have gotten $20,000 to $30,000 for check C for rent. You want that money? Go get it. Go get check C. Utilities. Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000 for utilities. You want big money for utilities from check C paid? Go get check C. Combinations. You want combinations of different items for check C's like rent and utilities? Go get check C. Nisi was at $23,000 last year. She's over $50,000. She gets another $500 to $5,000 every few days. Mark, Nisi, Lorraine, Johnny are among the viewers who listen really carefully on what I say. Get a check today, get a check tomorrow, get a check the day after. Your dedication for your family, for your livelihood, for yourself is the following. You're going to watch the videos of this channel every day to know where this economy is, where it's going, and also dedicate the rest of your day for getting checks routinely. Nisi was at $23,000. She went to $50,000. Mark was at $32,000. Guess what happened to Mark? He went from $32,000 to $50,000 to $100,000. Now he's at $166,000 because he got the check B. Lorraine, she was at 105 and she went to 130, heading to almost 150. And guess what she did? She sent me a message last night on Facebook, private message. She said, I got another $500, $800. She keeps on adding it up. That's what you do. These payments every few days help. And that's what you do for that check C. How do you get that check C? You subscribe, you become a member, you go right down that membership newsletter until you find check C. It tells you where to call, what to say, and how to say it. You get these sums of money because guess what? That financial cliff is just days away. If I'm gauging this right, that financial cliff could be in September. And if it's in September, you need the money ahead of time. You don't get money after you fall off a cliff. You get the money to prevent falling off a cliff. Is that clear? Remember Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner? You don't prepare for yourself after you've fallen off the cliff. You prepare not to fall off the cliff. And that's why you get every pot of money available today if the financial cliff is so close away. Now, in addition to becoming a member and getting that newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system, what do you need to know? First, go to the front of this channel, hit that subscribe button. Then there's a little bell. Make sure that bell is set to all notifications. Then the membership newsletter is delivered to you via the YouTube alerts. You'll get alerts at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's Pacific. Know your time zone. If you're at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central, know your time zone. It's 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It'll say New LA Post. Then the first line will say LA Newsletter. It'll say go down in the alert. It'll say click here to go to the post. You go into the post. And then you apply. Go right down to check A, apply B, apply C. Pick up the phone and call to tell you C, who to call, where to call, and when to call. But new today is the revamped newsletter. For a special one-time only Saturday edition for January 2025, let me tell you what's coming in there. The brand new LALATE worksheets. The worksheets were inspired by viewer Lorraine we just went over. Over the last few months, I said to viewers, take notes when you're watching the video. And Lorraine says, I take notes. And guess what? I put them in a binder. And guess what? That binder is now full. You provide so much information I like. So, based upon her great comments, what an inspiration. The worksheets are coming to this channel. What are the worksheets? In the membership newsletter, you'll go right down there, and it'll tell you the price of gasoline today, internationally as well, the price of corn and wheat, how to apply for check A, check B, check C, check D. And also, it'll tell you about those raising up your benefits lifetime. And now, newly added is the worksheets. The worksheets, you'll click a link and it'll send you to a PDF. A PDF will have a series of pages. They'll look blank, but they're not blank. There'll be a different page for a different topic. The concept is very simple. It's a worksheet for you to take notes. The worksheets will be divided upon themes like forced stimulus. Take notes on whatever you learned about forced stimulus that day. More about that in a second. A page for the Federal Reserve. Take notes on what you learned about the Federal Reserve that day. A page potentially for fifth stimulus. I'm still working on this in the worksheet. It'll be ready by tonight. And that fifth stimulus, of course, is raising up of your benefits. Sixth stimulus is for gasoline. What do we learn about gasoline today? More about that in a second. And seventh stimulus, student loan debt forgiveness. With the president likely to forgive $10,000 of student loan debt in the next 60 days. Now, I teased it a little bit last night, but I have more about today. That page in the worksheet for forced stimulus, you're going to love. It's going to have a table. It's going to have a table. And that table will be for you to take notes on where you applied and when you applied, and also to take notes on who you spoke to for check C's. Let's go over examples. For example, let's say you apply for check B today. So you'll write in the table today's date, 6/25/2022. I applied for check B. So you'll make a little note for yourself. So you keep track of when you apply for check. Check C's is so important for relationships. Why? Because these are people you're going to pick up the phone and speak to on a regular basis. So I'll have a space in there for you to take notes on who you spoke to, his name or her name, their number, their extension, and give you space to take notes because I want you to invest in their background. Where are you living? Oh, you're in Toledo as well. I'm on the outskirts of Toledo. Yeah, did you have a good weekend? I did. And what'd you do? Oh, I went to the festival. Take notes. They went to the festival. Take notes on their name, their extension, their phone number. So when you call back, you'll have something to talk about. you have something to speak about, they'll remember you by name, because guess what? You're going to need a lot of money as we go into those winter months for heating oil and gasoline. And those relationships is what breeds money. It's all about learning to earn. That's how we do it. That worksheets now coming to the newsletter every night, starting tonight. Now, let's go back to the other things I need you to know going into a new week. Jay Powell is raising interest rates, and he's going to raise those interest rates. My prediction is the following. He's going to do 3/4 in the month of July. They're off in the month of August, then 3/4 in the month of September, then half quarter. What do you need to know? You need to remove any adjustable rate debt in the household right today. Switch to the fix or pay it off. Car loans, credit card debt, anything like that. That debt will be very expensive come Jay Powell raising those interest rates. Out of control. Let's look at the situation with gasoline. Gasoline is featured in the membership newsletter with two numbers. If you're new to this channel, let me give you the background on the numbers. The first one is the international price of Brent crude. And then the second number is the U.S. domestic unleaded AAA. International price of Brent crude determines how much you pay for gasoline. And then the U.S. national average from AAA is how much people are actually paying at the pump. The numbers are updated live throughout the day. And here's what you need to know about the numbers. I haven't done this in a while. And I know we have a lot of new viewers on this channel, a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new members. So let me give you the backgrounds of the numbers. International price of Brent crude. It was about low 100 before Putin invaded Ukraine in March. Then it shot up to 110. We said if it goes to 115, we're going to recession. How high did it go? It went to 117, stayed there for a few months. Then, right after Memorial Day weekend, after the weekend, it shot to 120. Yeah, it was at 120 for a long time. It's come down now. In recent days, it's been as low as 113. It's back up, I think, about 117 today. A deal? No, there was no deal. So don't think that the movement is based upon a deal. It's just a very volatile commodity. It just gets traded a lot. Then the U.S. domestic unleaded, what has that number been doing? Well, it was, 3 last year. Then it was low $4. After Memorial Day weekend, it shot up as high as $5.10 approximately. It's come back down to about $4.90. So you want to watch that number. It's, of course, updated every day in the membership newsletter as well. What's the situation for gasoline? Tonight on EV's LALATE in prime time at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we have a brand new show, and we'll go over what is needed to be done for gasoline and how it's done. Basically, the Western allies have to go out and buy oil. How much? 3.5 million barrels of gasoline. Why? Because we have a shortage. If there's a shortage of gasoline, then gasoline goes higher, the price. The only way to keep the price down is to go buy gasoline. White House doesn't understand this. White House keep on parading the oil executives as though they're the evil empire. That doesn't work. The only way you get gasoline down is you go buy gasoline 3.5. Where? Venezuela, Brazil, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, or OPEC plus. We do not have 3.5 million barrels of gasoline in the ground. Now, what you're going to take notes on in your worksheet about gasoline is that, gasoline's still high. I don't expect any deal to come in on gasoline. So your worksheet page on gasoline may basically not have many updates. It's rather what gasoline's doing to other things you're going to be taking notes on. What is that? Inflation. As gasoline goes higher, or as gasoline remains high, guess what happens? The consumer price index number, the CPI, stays high. And that is an inflationary number. And if it's high, you know what we're going to say? Yes. Jay Powell's going to come in and raise those interest rates. Let's do that again. If gasoline remains high, then the CPI remains high, released once a month, or other inflationary benchmarks released within the month remain high. That means Jay Powell raises interest rates. When is Jay Powell's next meeting of the FOMC? Less than 2 weeks. When is the next CPI number? Less than 2 weeks. So that is why you got to watch this channel on a regular basis, because you need to know where this economy is, where it's going, and where it's heading. You need to know where inflation is on a daily basis, recession, how far it out is, and what's happening with labor. You need to be tracking the situation on the housing market, the retail sales, and the stock market as a general subject matter. And then what you need to do when you're not watching the videos, when there's not a video playing, you need to, as a member, get as many fourth stimulus checks on a regular basis as possible. Get a check today, get a check tomorrow. And that starts by becoming a member. Go right in this video, becoming a member right now. Coming up next at 11 o'clock is noontime on this channel. Then we got the 1 o'clock afternoon show, the 3 o'clock afternoon show, and a brand new Evenings LA tonight for June 25th, 2022, tonight at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Together as a family, we will get through this economy together. We will be in a better position than anyone else because we're not falling off a financial cliff. We know where this economy is before the cliff even formulates. That's how a loving community works together for learning and then earning. And that's how we stay stable. With that, stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful morning. Thank you for joining me live on air. I'll see you at 11 o'clock starting in just less than 30 minutes if you're watching the show when it airs. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful day and stay with LALATE for more.